Curious title. How UPS Express teaches you to turn speed into a business customers trust. Imagine a small shop owner in Accra who ships a handmade dress at dusk, and by the time a buyer wakes in a distant city, the tracking page shows the package is already moving through customs. No drama, no broken promises, just quiet, steady motion. What makes that possible is not magic. It is a set of design choices and operating habits that turn urgency into a repeatable capability. If you are starting from almost nothing, unemployed, underemployed, or on social support, you can steal these same ideas to build products and services people will depend on. This training story begins with that thought. Part 1. Introduction, context, and the first 3 idea principles, purpose and audience. This training story is written for entrepreneurs just getting started, people who are unemployed or underemployed and want to create extra income, individuals on social security seeking practical, low-risk ways to ideate products or services. We will use UPS Express shipping as a living example. Not so you can become a global logistics carrier overnight, but so you can borrow the thinking behind UPS Express to design dependable, simple, and sellable services from a tiny base. The lessons are operational and strategic, not technical. How to make a clear promise, how to design for repeatability, how to make reliability visible, and how to protect reputation, all skills you can practice with low capital and everyday networks. What UPS Express is? UPS Express shipping is an expedited parcel delivery service offered by United Parcel Service. It emphasizes time-definite, often next day or overnight, delivery across cities and countries. At its core, UPS Express combines rapid transport options, prioritized sorting and handling, international customs expertise, and end-to-end tracking to move time-sensitive packages reliably. The service is designed for customers who value predictability and speed more than the lowest price. Think legal documents, medical supplies, urgent parts, or e-commerce orders that must arrive on a specific date. Why UPS Express matters for idea generation. UPS Express matters because it turns a hard operational capability, time-definite cross-border delivery, into a clear, sellable promise. The company built an ecosystem of people, tools, and rules that convert schedules into delivered packages. For someone ideating new products from limited means, UPS Express offers transferable lessons, narrow time-bound promises, simplify design, and drive trust. Operational investments can be translated into customer-visible features. Reliability is a marketable asset that customers will pay for. Systems thinking lets small operators do more with less by structuring work intentionally. How UPS Express compares with other delivery models. To sharpen the lessons, compare UPS Express to several archetypes. Versus National Post Services. National Postal Services often prioritize universal coverage at low cost. Their value is ubiquity. UPS Express targets a different job, fast, predictable delivery for customers willing to pay a premium. Lesson: choose a job that matters and design to solve it exceptionally well, rather than trying to be everything. Versus on-demand local couriers, and app-based rapid delivery focus on hyperlocal speed and flexibility. UPS Express trades local immediacy for structured, cross-market predictability. Lesson: define the right scope for your promise. Local agility or reliable long-distance timeliness, and optimize the system for that scope. Versus peer-to-peer platforms, marketplaces promise convenience by connecting many providers. Their redundancy is statistical. Many providers mean someone will accept the job. UPS Express builds engineered redundancy, scheduled flights, prioritized sorting, customs specialists. Lesson: deliberate design beats hoping the crowd will save you. The arc of this training story: across 3 parts, we will unpack 8 principles inspired by UPS Express that you can apply at small scale. This first part covers the opening foundations and the first 3 principles in depth. The remaining principles will appear in later parts. Here are the 8 principles in brief, so you know where we are going. Principle 1. Make a narrow, time-definite promise and design every choice to keep it. Principle 2. Make invisible reliability visible through simple signals and accountability. Principle 3. Optimize for end-to-end flow rather than isolated tasks. Principle 4. Build purposeful redundancy to survive predictable surprises. Principle 5. Convert complexity into modules people can learn quickly. Principle 6. Measure a handful of indicators that predict customer outcomes. Principle 7. Price around the value of certainty, not just cost. Principle 8. Evolve your offering in ways that preserve customer investments. In this first part, we focus on the first 3 principles. Each principle includes an explanation, common mistakes companies make, and practical lessons you can use immediately. Principle 1. Make a narrow, time-definite promise and design to keep it. Explanation: UPS Express succeeded because it sells a tight promise. Deliver this package by that time. A promise is clear, measurable, and limited in scope. That narrowness transforms product design. Decisions about staffing, routing, and prioritization become judgments about whether they help keep the promise. A narrow promise reduces ambiguity and concentrates scarce resources on what matters. Why this matters for small-scale entrepreneurs. If you are starting with limited capital and capacity, diffuse promises cause chaos. A specific, measurable commitment force is you to design processes that support it. It also makes customer conversations simpler. They can understand the value without wading through technical detail. Common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Promising too many things. Many founders, hoping to attract customers, promise everything at once. Low price, wide selection, customization, speedy service. This pleases no one, because the team cannot deliver all promises reliably. Mistake 2. Using fuzzy language, fast delivery, or excellent service are subjective. Customers interpret them differently, leading to mismatched expectations and complaints. The time-definite promise avoids ambiguity. Mistake 3. Designing for ideal conditions. Businesses plan around perfect days. Good traffic, cooperative suppliers, no system outages. Reality includes storms, strikes, and supply delays. Without built-in buffers, the promise collapses under common stress. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Write one sentence that defines the promise. Make it short, concrete, and time-bound. For example, we deliver legal documents across the city by 9 p.m. the next business day. This sentence becomes your design North Star. Lesson 2. Map every step needed to keep the promise. List each action from customer order to final handoff. For every step, ask, does this help keep the promise? If not, cut or postpone it. Lesson 3. Add affordable guardrails. Design small time buffers, priority handling rules, and decision cutoffs. If a parcel misses a cutoff, have a ready customer message and an alternative plan. How to apply Principle 1 with little capital. Start with a micro promise you can keep consistently. For instance, Promise same-day delivery within a limited neighborhood, or guaranteed pickup within a scheduled 2-hour window. Narrow geography and a tight time window reduce variability and let you train a reliable routine. Principle 2. Make invisible reliability visible explanation. UPS Express makes operational reliability tangible through tracking updates, confirmed pickup times, SMS notices, and exception alerts. These visible cues reassure customers and reduce support friction. When customers see progress markers, they feel in control even though the logistics remain complex behind the scenes. Why this matters for small ventures. Small teams cannot match the scale of a global carrier, but they can replicate the psychology visibility. Customers reward transparency. Simple status signals reduce anxiety, lower calls and messages, and make the service feel professional. Common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Overloading the customer with technical detail. Some businesses produce complex tracking dashboards or dense reports that confuse users. Customers ignore or are intimidated by too much technicality. Mistake 2. Under-communicating status. Other businesses say nothing until a customer asks. Silence breeds uncertainty and unnecessarily increases support contacts. Mistake 3. Sending dishonest or misleading signals. An overly optimistic status that paints a rosier picture than reality destroys trust when customers discover the truth. Visible cues must accurately reflect reality. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Pick a small set of clear status signals. Choose 2 or 3 meaningful updates such as picked up, in transit, and out for delivery. Keep the language simple and customer-focused. Lesson 2. Make responsibility clear with each update. Whenever you send a status, say who owns the package at that moment and what will happen if an exception occurs. For example, your parcel is now with our local driver, Amal. If we cannot deliver today, we will call and arrange a pickup. Lesson 3. Use low-cost tools for visibility. You do not need fancy software. Simple SMS, templated emails, or a public tracking page that you update daily can work. Consistency matters more than elegance. How to apply principle to cheaply automate what you can, even if the automation is just copying a short template into a message. Keep messages human and specific. If you track manually, set a simple routine to update the customer at set milestones, so visibility becomes a habit rather than an afterthought. Principle 3. Optimize for flow, not isolated efficiency. Explanation. UPS Express emphasizes end-to-end throughput. How fast and reliably a parcel moves from origin to destination. It designs hubs, prioritized lanes, and cutoffs to optimize flow across the whole network rather than maximizing velocity at isolated steps. The key idea is to identify bottlenecks that slow the entire chain and fix those, even if other parts become slightly less efficient. Why this matters for small operations. Small teams often measure local tasks, how many calls per hour, how many pickups completed, rather than the total time a customer waits. Improving local metrics without addressing system bottlenecks may not improve the customer's experience. Optimizing for flow shifts attention to the bottleneck. It limits the whole process. Common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Measuring tasks instead of journeys. Counting tasks completed can create perverse incentives. For example, a staff member measured on number of packages scanned per hour might rush and cause missorts that delay deliveries later. Mistake 2. Adding resources to overloaded steps without analyzing upstream causes. Hiring additional staff at the visible overload does not help if the real bottleneck is inconsistent input from an earlier step. Mistake 3. Encouraging excessive multitasking. When people juggle many roles, context switching wastes time and raises error rates. Flow suffers when workers are constantly interrupted. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Map the end-to-end customer journey and time each stage. Time a few real transactions and note where the longest waits occur. The longest wait determines the speed customers perceive. Lesson 2. Focus improvements on the bottleneck. A small change at the bottleneck often yields the greatest improvement in overall flow. Fix that first before tinkering elsewhere. Lesson 3. Reduce handoffs where possible. Fewer handoffs mean fewer chances for delay. Bundle related tasks into a single role or standardize handoffs with short checklists. How to apply Principle 3 on a shoestring. Use a whiteboard or a simple spreadsheet to map process steps and timings. Track a handful of transactions and identify the step that consistently takes the longest. Make a small experiment, change one thing at that step. Measure the end-to-end improvement. Short comparison vignette. UPS Express versus Agile Local Couriers. A city courier app promises immediate pickups and flexible routing. It excels at local speed, but can be inconsistent across a broad area. UPS Express promises scheduled, time-definite deliveries across regions and designs the network for that scope. For an entrepreneur choosing which model to copy, the lesson is to match scope to promise. If you promise wide area predictability, design routing at cutoffs. If you promise local immediacy, build tight neighborhood grids and flexible couriers. Practical exercises to practice principles 1 through 3. Exercise 1. Write your one-sentence promise. Turn the job you want to sell into a single, time-bound sentence. Read it to a friend and ask whether they would pay for it. Exercise 2. Map one customer journey. List every step from order to delivery, circle handoffs, and time each step. Identify the bottleneck. Exercise 3. Create to status messages. Choose to clear status updates you can send and decide who will send them and when. A short case vignette. A small pharmacy that borrowed UPS thinking. A neighborhood pharmacy offered local delivery, but customers often complained about late medicines. The owner tried 3 changes inspired by UPS Express. She narrowed the delivery promise to same day within a limited radius, with a 2-hour pickup window. She sent 2 visible cues. Confirmation at pickup and a 10-minute pre-delivery SMS with the driver's name. She tracked the end-to-end time and found that most delay happened during prescription verification. Adding a short pre-check reduced total time enough to meet promises consistently. Within weeks, complaints dropped, and more clinics recommended the service. The pharmacy had not bought expensive tech. It had simply designed work to keep a narrow promise and made reliability visible. Conclusion of Part 1. UPS Express is not merely about planes and trucks. It is about the discipline of making clear promises, showing progress in ways customers understand, and optimizing the whole journey rather than isolated tasks. For people starting with little capital, the path forward is practical and concrete. Select a narrow, valuable promise, make reliability visible, and organize work to flow end-to-end. These are the first 3 foundations you can test and repeat at human scale. If you found this useful, subscribe to my YouTube channel for parts 2 and 3, where we will cover redundancy, modular process design, focused measurement, value-based pricing, and evolution that preserves customer trust. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the workbook and templates that will help you turn these ideas into your next income-generating project. Part 2, Redundancy, Modularity, and Data. Turning operational strength into everyday opportunity. Imagine a sudden road closure on the only route between your supplier and your shop. Orders are due, customers are waiting, and you must choose: cancel, apologize, or solve it. The businesses that survive and grow already had a plan. In this part, we unpack the next 3 UPS Express lessons you can copy. Design purposeful redundancy. Break work into teachable modules, and use focused data to learn faster. These moves are practical, cheap, and powerful for anyone starting from almost nothing. Who this part is for? This section continues the training for entrepreneurs launching small ventures, people who are unemployed or underemployed and want reliable ways to earn income, individuals on Social Security seeking low-risk ideas to build a steady micro-business. We assume you practiced the first 3 principles in Part 1. Make a narrow promise, show visible status, and optimize end-to-end flow. Now we add resilience, reproducibility, and measurement. Overview of the 3 principles covered here. Principle 4. Design redundancy so one failure does not break the promise. Principle 5. Convert operational complexity into modular, learnable pieces. Principle 6. Use data to close feedback loops and measure the few things that matter. Each principle below includes a clear explanation, 3 common mistakes companies make, practical lessons, low-cost steps you can apply today, comparisons with other models, and a short vignette or exercise. Principle 4. Design redundancy, so a single failure cannot ruin the promise. Explanation. UPS Express builds scheduled backups, alternate flights, prioritized cargo space, contingency crews, and contractual partners. Redundancy is purposeful diversity, not waste. It means having alternate ways to deliver the promised outcome when a likely disruption occurs. For a small operator, redundancy might be a second supplier, a backup delivery partner, or a simple customer option for pickup. Why redundancy matters for small ventures. A single missed promise can destroy trust faster than any marketing can rebuild it. Reputation is your most valuable asset when you have few customers. Low-cost redundancy protects reputation and lets you charge for certainty. Common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Treating redundancy as pure extra cost. Small teams fear redundancy because it sounds like paying for twice the capacity. Effective redundancy is targeted and inexpensive. It protects a fragile point without doubling everything. Mistake 2. Creating identical backups. A backup that fails for the same reason as the primary is useless. True redundancy diversifies failure modes, different suppliers, different transport methods, different times. Mistake 3. Keeping fallbacks secret. Hiding backups can create confusion if a fallback procedure requires customer cooperation. Transparent fallback plans reduce customer anxiety and often improve acceptance. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Identify the single point of failure. This is the one person, supplier, or process that, if it failed, would break your promise. That is the first candidate for redundancy. Lesson 2. Choose low-cost, diverse backups. Examples. If you rely on one courier, arrange an informal agreement with a local taxi or motorcycle rider as a different transport mode. If one supplier supplies packaging, find a local market for temporary substitutes. If your payment system is online, accept cash on delivery for local customers as a backup. Lesson 3. Communicate fallback options to customers. Tell customers what will happen if you cannot meet the promise. A clear statement like, "If we cannot deliver, we will call and offer a same-day pickup or refund," reduces anger and preserves trust. How to apply Principle 4 cheaply. Step 1. Draw a simple failure map. Write 3 critical steps in your promise and for each ask, what if this fails? For each failure, pick one low-cost fallback. Step 2. Make informal contingency agreements. Talk to neighbors, small drivers, or nearby shops, and arrange on-call help with simple reciprocal terms. Step 3. Rehearse backups. Run the simulated failure and practice the fallback. Rehearsal builds confidence and smooths execution when real disruptions occur. Comparison with other approaches versus relying on a large pool of anonymous gig workers. Platforms rely on statistical redundancy. Many providers increase the chances someone will accept a job. That works at scale but often fails for promises that need guaranteed outcomes. Purposeful redundancy is a better fit when single failures are costly for customers. Versus buying insurance-only insurance pays after loss, but does not prevent the reputational damage. Redundancy prevents failures and preserves relationships. Short vignette. A small medical courier, a community health distributor, promised same-day delivery of urgent supplies. Initially, one motorcycle rider did all runs and sometimes could not ride due to weather. The distributor added to low-cost measures. A second rider who used a different route and a local clinic pickup point for emergencies. Communication to clinics explained the fallback. Deliveries became reliable and referrals rose. Principle 5. Convert complexity into modular, learnable pieces. Explanation. UPS Express manages enormous complexity by decomposing work into clear modules. Pickup, labeling, sorting, customs clearance, transport, and delivery. Each module has defined inputs, outputs, and simple rules. Modularity speeds training, reduces errors, and enables incremental improvement. For small teams, modular design makes it possible to delegate work to temporary helpers or partners without losing quality. Why modularity matters for small teams. You will often bring on friends, family, temporary hires, or partners. When each part of the job is a short checklist, you can scale reliability without expensive training. Modularity also helps you automate or outsource specific pieces when you grow. Common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Treating every customer interaction as unique. Bespoke solutions sound attractive, but make scaling and consistent quality nearly impossible. Mistake. Relying on undocumented tribal knowledge. Procedures that live only in one person as head create fragility and bottlenecks. Mistake 3. Ignoring handoff protocols. Even with clear modules, handoffs fail and the required information is not standardized. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Define modules and their contracts. Write 3 to 5 modules for your customer journey. For each module, document who does it, what information is required, what outcome is expected, and one quality check. Lesson 2. Create simple tools and checklists. A one-page checklist, a short script, or a photo example is often enough to teach someone a module in 20 to 30 minutes. Lesson 3. Standardize interfaces between modules. Specify the minimal essential data that must pass between modules. For example, order 499, address, contact phone, and special instructions, and use a single form or message format. How to apply Principle 5 with no budget. Step 1. Pick a single customer journey and break it into modules. For example, order intake, prepare item, handoff to courier, final delivery, and feedback. Step 2. Draft one short checklist per module. Keep each checklist 3 to 5 items, plus one QA check. Step 3. Train someone in 15 minutes and observe. If they can follow the checklist and pass a quick quality check, the module works. Comparison with other models versus completely bespoke craft businesses. Craftspeople often resist modularization to preserve uniqueness. Yet most bespoke services have repeatable subtasks that benefit from modularization without losing creativity. Versus fully automated platforms, automation can scale modules efficiently, but only after the module is stable. For small ventures, manual modular execution with strong checklists often outperforms early automation. Short vignette. A home catering service. A small caterer struggled with late deliveries and inconsistent plating. She divided the process into modules: order intake, menu prep, portioning, transport, and setup. A photo checklist for plating and a time transport checklist fixed variability. Helpers could cover shifts with minimal training and quality rows. Principle 6. Use data to close feedback loops and measure the few things that matter. Explanation. UPS Express runs on disciplined measurement. On-time delivery rates, scan times, exception counts. The company does not measure everything. It picks a handful of indicators that truly predict customer outcomes. Focused measurement turns assumptions into testable hypotheses and accelerates improvement. Why measurement matters for early-stage ideas. When resources are tight, guessing wastes effort. Measuring the right things shows what actually moves performance. Small, frequent measurements make problems visible early and keep fixes small and affordable. Common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Tracking vanity metrics, counting likes, impressions, or tasks without linking them to customer outcomes creates false confidence. Mistake 2. Measuring too many metrics. When everything is important, focus disappears and decisions stall. Mistake 3. Treating numbers without context as truth. A spike in complaints needs interpretation. Numbers must be paired with quick frontline notes or customer comments to reveal root causes. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Choose 3 metrics that predict your promise. Pick simple indicators closely tied to your core promise. For example, for a promised same-day delivery measure, percentage of deliveries completed by promised time, average pickup to delivery time, and exceptions per 100 deliveries. Lesson 2. Measure simply and regularly. Use a shared spreadsheet, paper log, or a briefed daily form. Consistency is more valuable than complexity. Lesson 3. Combine quantitative trends with qualitative notes. Encourage one-line notes from drivers or staff about common issues. Numbers plus short notes reveal solutions faster. How to apply principles 6 on a shoestring. Step 1. Write the hypothesis you want to test. Example: if we reduce package preparation time by 10 minutes, our on-time delivery rate will increase. Step 2. Pick one metric and measure it for a short period. Collect data for 2 weeks and visualize the trend in a simple chart. Step 3. Run a focused experiment. Change one thing, measure again, and compare. Repeat iteratively. Comparison with other approaches versus relying solely on intuition. Intuition is valuable, but measurement turns intuition into disciplined experiments. Small, repeated experiments beat occasional big bets. Versus complex analytics platforms. You do not need expensive dashboards. A clear spreadsheet and a short weekly review produce powerful learning early on. Short vignette. A small repair shop, a neighborhood repair shop, promised 72-hour turnaround for common repairs, but missed the target often. They tracked 3 simple metrics: repair start delay, parts waiting time, and completion to notify time. They found parts waiting was the bottleneck and negotiated a local supplier arrangement, restoring promised delivery times. Putting principles 4 through 6 together, an integrated example. Imagine small medical sample courier promising same-day delivery to a lab. Apply the 3 principles. Redundancy. Identify that a single delivery rider is a single point of failure. Add a backup rider and a clinic pickup option for emergency drop-offs. Modularity. Split the workflow into modules. Sample pickup, packaging, lab handoff, with short checklists and a single form that travels with the sample. Data. Track percentage of samples delivered within the promised window, median pickup to handoff time, and number of temperature excursions. Review weekly and fix the main bottleneck revealed by the numbers. These steps are low cost and protect patient care while building the courier's reputation among clinics. Practical exercises you can do today. Exercise 1 failure and backup brainstorm. Pick 1 promise and list the 3 most likely things that could cause failure. For each, write 1 low cost, diverse fallback. Exercise 2. Make 1 module and teach it. Pick repeatable subtask and draft a 1-page checklist. Teach a friend to do it in 15 minutes and check the result. Exercise 3. Pick 3 metrics and record for 2 weeks. Write the 3 metrics at predict your promise and start recording them daily in a simple table. Look for trends and 1 actionable change. Common questions and quick answers question. I cannot afford paid backups. What can I do? Answer. Use social redundancy. Make informal agreements with neighbors, friendly drivers, or local shops. Reciprocal arrangements cost little and provide real backups. Question. My service is bespoke. How do I modularize without losing uniqueness? Answer. Isolate the bespoke parts and separate them from repeatable subtasks, like intake, quality checks, or delivery. Standardize the repeatable parts to protect quality while keeping creative freedom where it matters. Question. Which metrics should I track first? Answer. Track the metrics most directly tied to your promise. If you promise speed, track times. If you promise accuracy, track error rates. Comparison roundup. UPS Express versus 3 other archetypes. Archetype 1. The crowdsourced gig model. Gig models rely on a large pool of providers and statistical availability. They scale quickly but are often inconsistent for time-definite promises. UPS-style redundancy is engineered and predictable, better for promises that cost customers when they fail. Archetype 2. The boutique high-touch provider. Boutiques deliver personalized service, but struggle to scale and maintain consistent quality. Modularity lets boutique providers keep personalization while stabilizing core tasks. Archetype 3. The automation-first startup. Startups often try to automate early. Automation succeeds when processes are stable. For micro-ventures, manual, well-documented modules with focused measurement often outperform premature automation. Short vignette. A small floristry business. A local florist wanted to guarantee morning delivery for weddings. They applied redundancy by arranging an alternate driver and a nearby pickup point for urgent orders, modularized tasks into order intake, arrangement, and delivery checklists, and tracked on-time delivery rate and number of delivery exceptions. The firm's reliability turned into steady referrals from event planners. Wrap-up of Part 2. Redundancy, modularity, and focused measurement turn fragile efforts into dependable services. For people starting small, these principles protect reputation, make training fast, and create a structured path for incremental improvement. Your next steps are concrete. Map failure points. Write short checklists for repeatable work and begin measuring the few numbers that predict your promise. Preview of Part 3. In the final part, we will cover pricing for value and predictability, evolving offers without breaking customer investments, and simple marketing plays that turn reliability into a sellable brand. We will include a compact workbook to plan and pilot your idea. If this part helped you, subscribe to my YouTube channel for Part 3 and 4 downloadable templates and checklists you can use right away. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the workbook and practical scripts that make starting practical and repeatable. Part 3, Pricing, Evolution, and Turning Reliability into a Growable Business. Imagine customers who choose you first because they know you will not fail them, and then tell others because your service saves them time and stress. That trust becomes your unfair advantage. In this final part, we finish the UPS Express-inspired playbook with 2 strategic principles: price for predictability and evolve without breaking customers' investments, and a practical toolkit you can use tomorrow to turn reliability into repeatable revenue. Who this part is for? This section is for entrepreneurs refining services, people who are unemployed or underemployed building steady micro-income, folks on social support who want to design low-risk, dependable offers. You have already learned how to make a narrow promise, show visible status, optimize flow, design redundancy, modularize work, and measure the few things that matter. Now we convert those operational strengths into pricing, customer retention, and brand growth. Overview of the final principles. Principle 7. Price for predictability and value, not only for cost. Principle 8. Evolve offers in ways that preserve customers' past investments and trust. Each principle below includes an explanation. 3 common mistakes companies make, lessons learned, low-cost application steps, a short comparison, and a vignette. After the principles, you get a compact toolkit, a workbook to pilot your idea, practical exercises, and closing thoughts. Principle 7. Price for predictability and value. Not only for cost explanation, UPS Express charges a premium because customers buy certainty, meeting deadlines, avoiding penalties, protecting reputation. Pricing is a way to translate the practical value of reliability into sustainable revenue. When you price around value, you fund the very systems, backups, training, measurement, that make reliability possible. Why this matters for small providers. Flew under price, margins evaporate and you cannot afford redundancy or quality controls. If you price only by cost, customers never see the true benefit. Learning to express and capture the value of predictability is how small providers earn enough to scale dependably. 3 common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Competing only on lowest price, racing to the bottom attracts cost-focused buyers who churn and complain. Low prices make investment in reliability impossible. Mistake 2. Failing to articulate the cost of failure. Customers often undervalue certainty until you help them see the real costs of a missed promise, lost sales, angry clients, wasted time. If you do not explain the cost of failure, they compare only sticker prices. Mistake 3. Using complicated discounts and hidden fees, complex pricing erodes trust. Unclear fees or surprise charges make customers suspicious and reduce repeat business. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Translate reliability into concrete customer outcomes. Ask customers what a late delivery costs them in time, stress, or money. Frame your offer in those terms. We deliver by 10 a.m. so you do not lose the morning shift, or guaranteed same-day parts delivery so machines stay running. Lesson 2. Offer clear, tiered options focused on value. Provide 3 simple tiers. Basic, reliable, and premium. Make the middle tier the best balance of price and certainty. Describe plainly what each tier guarantees. Lesson 3. Use simple guarantees that build credibility. A narrow, honest guarantee. Refund the fee or redeliver at no cost. If we miss our time, signals confidence and helps customers accept a higher price. How to apply Principle 7 cheaply. Step 1. Have a short value conversation. When you onboard a customer, ask 2 questions. What happens if this is late? And how would on-time delivery help you? Use answers to set price or justify a guaranteed tier. Step 2. Pilot tiered pricing with a small group. Offer the new tier to a few existing customers with clear terms. Learn their willingness to pay and adjust. Step 3. Make guarantees conditional and manageable. Limit guarantees to realistic scenarios and require simple customer cooperation. For example, accurate address and contact information, so guarantees stay credible. Comparison with other pricing models. Versa cost plus pricing. Cost plus hides customer benefit and often underfunds reliability. Value pricing aligns your revenue with the customer's avoided pain. Versus pure subscription without guarantees. Subscriptions smooth revenue but can hide performance issues. Combine subscriptions with performance promises to keep service disciplined. Vignette. A parts delivery service that charged for certainty. A small supplier shifted from a flat low fee to a 2-tier model. Standard 3-day shipping and guaranteed same-day delivery for critical parts at a modest premium. Clinics and small factories chose the guaranteed tier because it prevented costly downtime. A provider reinvested the extra margin into a backup rider and a simple tracking routine, which reduced failures and increased repeat customers. Principle 8. Evolve. Offers without breaking customer investments. Explanation. UPS Express expanded services, tracking, insurance, international lanes, while keeping existing customer workflows intact. Evolution that honors what customers already use and trust prevents churn. Changes should reduce friction, protect past investments, and create clear migration paths. Why this matters for micro businesses. Early customers are your most valuable testers and advocates. Abrupt changes or forced migrations punish loyalty and slow growth. Evolving gently builds confidence and makes upgrades easier to sell. 3 common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Forcing immediate migration. Rolling out new system overnight without a transition plan frustrates customers and staff. Mistake 2. Prioritizing shiny features over compatibility. New features that require customers to relearn core habits often fail, despite being technically excellent. Mistake 3. Ignoring legacy customers in favor of new segments. Chasing new markets while neglecting early users loses your foundation of trust. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Communicate early and often. Tell customers what is changing, why it benefits them, and how to keep using the service as before for a transition period. Lesson 2. Offer opt-in pilots and parallel systems. Let customers choose when to adopt changes. Run small pilots and collect feedback before broad rollout. Lesson 3. Preserve critical customer data and habits. If customers save addresses or preferences, keep those intact or provide easy export-import tools to preserve their investments. How to apply Principle 8 on a shoestring. Step 1. List what customers have invested in. Identify saved contacts, habitual order times, templates, or preferred routines that customers would miss. Step 2. Design a phased rollout. Offer the new feature as optional first. Invite a handful of testers, adjust, Then expand gradually with training and simple documentation. Step 3. Reward early adopters. Give small discounts or priority support to customers who help pilot new features. Their feedback is gold. Comparison with other evolution strategies versus disruptive full read rate approaches. A complete overhaul can alienate customers. For small operations, incremental upgrades are safer and often faster to adopt versus permanent beta. Constantly changing, unstable products frustrate users. Manage expectations and set clear timelines for testing and release. Vignet, a digital invoicing add-on that preserved habits. A bookkeeper added a digital invoicing tool, but kept manual invoices available during a transition period. She migrated one client at a time, copied over saved customer details, and offered a short training call. Most clients switch gradually. The bookkeeper refined the tool from real feedback and avoided losing anyone. Final toolkit, practical plays to turn reliability into growth. Play 1. Sell a narrow guarantee. Offer a concrete promise tied to a refund or redo. Keep it narrow and credible so you can deliver and build trust. Play 2. Package reliability as a subscription. If customers need frequent certainty, a subscription smooths revenue and deepens the relationship. Play 3. Offer migration paths for new features. When introducing new systems, give customers the option to stick with the old way for a period and provide simple help to switch. Play 4. Use short stories to sell value. Share a one-sentence customer story. We saved a clinic from missing a transplant kit by delivering in time. Concrete stories are persuasive and memorable. Play 5. Reinvest margins into the reliability loop. Use extra margin from guaranteed tiers to fund backups, training, and measurement. That investment keeps promises and grows repeat business. Workbook, plan and pilot your idea in 4 steps. Step 1. Define your promise in one sentence. Write a single, time-bound sentence that states what you will deliver and when. Step 2. Map the customer journey and find the bottleneck. List end-to-end steps and time each. Circle the biggest delay and design one change to fix it. Step 3. Add one low-cost redundancy and one visible queue. Choose a fallback for the single most fragile element and pick 2 short status messages to send customers. Step 4. Price, pilot, and measure. Set 2 price tiers, basic and guaranteed, pilot with a small group, and track 3 simple metrics for the pilot period: delivery on promise, customer satisfaction notes, and exceptions. Adjust and expand. Practical exercises you can do today. Exercise 1. Customer value interview. Call or message 5 potential customers and ask, "What happens if this is late?" Note concrete costs and use them to inform pricing. Exercise 2. Migration plan draft. If you plan to add a new tool, write a 1-paragraph migration plan that preserves current habits for a transition period and offers optional training. Exercise 3. 1-week metric sprint. Pick 3 metrics that predict your promise and record them daily for 1 week. Identify 1 quick improvement to test the following week. Common questions and short answers. Question: My customers only care about price. How can I sell reliability? Answer: Ask a few customers about the cost of failure. Many buyers undervalue certainty until you make the consequence visible. Offer a small guaranteed tier and show the difference in outcomes. Question: I cannot afford backups. What then? Answer: Use social redundancy, reciprocal agreements with neighbors, local drivers, or complementary small businesses. Small trades or low-cost on-call arrangements provide real protection. Question: How do I keep early customers when I evolve? Answer: communicate early, offer opt-in pilots, migrate one customer at a time, and reward those who help test. Comparison roundup. UPS Express versus 3 archetypes. Archetype 1. The bargain provider competes on lowest price and often sacrifices reliability. For trust-based promises, this is a weak position. Pricing for value lets you sustain the systems that produce reliability. Archetype 2. The platform relying on statistical redundancy. Platforms expect large supply pools to meet demand. That can work for flexible tasks, but is weak for guaranteed, time-critical promises. Purposeful, engineered redundancy is more reliable for high-stakes services. Archetype 3. The shiny tech disruptor. Early automation can impress investors, but frustrate customers if the core process is not stable. For small ventures, stabilize modules manually before automating. Final vignette. A neighborhood tech repairs subscription. A repair technician offered a monthly subscription, guaranteeing next business day pickup and priority repair slots. He priced the subscription to cover a backup technician and a small parts reserve. Subscribers loved the certainty because it reduced downtime. The technician used subscription revenues to fund backups and kept a simple migration path for occasional non-subscribers. Closing thoughts. From promises to paid trust, UPS Express is a lesson in converting operational discipline into customer value. For anyone starting with limited capital, the path is simple and powerful. Choose a narrow promise, make it visible, design flow and redundancy, modularize work, measure what matters, price the predictability, and evolve without breaking trust. By doing these things consistently, you build a business people rely on and are willing to pay for. If you want downloadable templates, checklists, simple metric trackers, a migration plan template, and short scripts for customer conversations, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Each subscriber helps me create practical, ready-to-use tools that make starting small actually work. Hit subscribe and join the next session where we walk through a live pilot you can follow step by step.